But that kind of brings me over to Mouseovers. And this is a lot of this stuff is off of the forums, you guys. Sorry about that, Reddit. But this is from Louis asking for being able to heal over the health bar and able to click whatever spells and uses that on the target you're hovering over. I actually use that a lot. But I don't know, have you guys used Mouseover abilities? And if you have, do you want to see it in Ashes? Or do you think maybe not?
I don't mind as long as it's not the only option. So obviously, and we know it's not, they're going with a hybrid approach for targeting, just full stop. I have absolutely no concerns with it. There's been some games where I think sometimes it's warranted. Again, playing a healer, if you're trying to single target multiple people, it's a lot easier to move your mouse over the person you can see. But it kind of limits, in a lot of ways, your ability, because you're not just fighting then against whoever's trying to attack you. You're fighting against the fact that all of your team are running all over the place, and it's just a scattered mess. But there are a lot of benefits to having that, especially if you're going more of that kind of action combat way, because your mouse should be as close to wherever you're targeting as possible. So as long as there's options for it and options to turn it off, I, again, don't see any problems with it. I think it's a really viable way to play. But yeah, I'm like I said, tab, press a name, spam heal sort of player.
Fair.
Yeah, Mouseovers are amazing tools, especially in a tab / point and click type game. Either of those, it adds again that elevated feel to it. Like, if you're trying to be quick and responsive and actually get things done, quote unquote, like in time, like as fast as possible, having to search through, find someone, click them, then hit a heal button, and then find someone else and click them, and changing your targets up, it feels like it's a lot more clunky than just having a mouse over where you can hover over and it temporarily selects them. You can click to select someone and have them be your hard target, but then you move your mouse away from everything, just have it out in the field, and it's going to go back to that person. Then you hover over somebody else, and then you can cast something on them. Because it allows you to do that over raid frames, but also, and I think more importantly, on people out there in the field. You can kind of see it, health bars that are popping down, and like there's a giant fire explosion over on this side. You can immediately whip your mouse over to where the lightning strike hit from the mage, right? And start hovering over people that need healed, and you can heal them real quick. Or for that matter, from a tank point of view, if I see somebody in my field of view and I'm using tab target for my camera type, if someone's running away from an enemy force and they're really low on health, I can hover over them with a mouse button. I can hit my intercept, give them a shield real quick, and then I can start guarding them from behind. Like, it's a lot easier than let me click on them. Okay, now let me click on a bad guy so then I can actually do something against them.
Yeah. And actually, like something I wanted to bring up that I don't know if I talked much about this with any of the interviews I went on or on our own show, but you can see Steven's raid frame on screen as he's walking up to this bulletin board. But I was actually able to click names up in the corner on the raid frame and heal from there because I have the fancy MMO mouse with all the buttons on the side. So I organized my macros. I organized my macros in a way that made it so that I can just click and I know which buttons are doing what. And sometimes that helped me because I was able to do the ability where like the heal is kind of like this flare that flies towards its target, and that's how I can like reorient to like where maybe a fight might be happening. If I turn and see Virtek and a couple of other people and their health is getting low, I'm like, okay, cool. Like now I'm reorienting on like where people are. But otherwise, I really like being able to do it. I think Mouseover, like you said, is a way to elevate it. And with the conversation on, action, this is a good way to kind of integrate an action-esque like Mouseover heal without needing to leave tab in case I need access to something else. And I feel like it's kind of a best of both worlds, especially as a healer for me. Like it's just, I loved it in WoW. I loved being able to have the Mouseover. And I don't know, I might make this a forum post later, or like add into theirs, like the desire for that. But let's see, real quick before I go on to one of these two. Sir Onsington asked, was there active block available? If so, how did it perform? And were there any restrictions to the function?
Well, so that one I have only a little bit of input on, mainly because, as Chibi said, it was fairly directed testing. And by what I mean, or what we mean by that is it's not necessarily, okay, everybody stand here and do this, but it was very much like, okay, everybody get your stuff. Okay, we're running. Let's go. Let's get over there. Okay, everybody, let's do this. Start doing stuff. So there wasn't really much of a chance to really examine how well it worked or if there were any restrictions or whatnot. I can say, at least from thinking on it, that active blocking was there. Using the action cam, I would left click to do my attacks and I would right click to do my blocking. And when blocking, yes, I did see things being blocked. And I only really got attacked for the most part from the front, so I didn't really get a chance to examine anything like, can I block from behind or from the sides or anything? Because we just didn't get a chance to say, okay, now attack me from the side. Okay, let me turn around or anything like that. And typically when I was getting attacked, it was by multiple people from multiple directions anyway. So it was really hard to keep track of any kind of performance marking on it. I just knew it was working, so I did it.
That's been really tough though. Yeah.
Generally
it's a good idea to not engage the enemy from the side, like from your side, running in that direction. So it's interesting to know that there's action combat though. I think it worked really well, and like Elder Scrolls Online is a good example. Active blocking. So it's really cool to see that they're blending that kind of aspect of it, and like WoW, where it's like item based and stat based, and whether you block something, it's not you actively doing. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And
no,
then there's me who
it wasn't
do that
draining.
at all.
Doesn't do it at all. And no, Onsington,
like,
it wasn't draining stamina that I noticed anyway.
But that's always subject to change. Stephen's words.
Maybe you're perfect blocking. Maybe it's got a perfect block system and you're just too good at blocking.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be.
So good at it.
I perfected it.
Yeah.